It's if you're used to connecting with, say, elemental frequencies, is going to be different than connecting with angelic frequencies versus galactic energies that are here communicating with us as well. So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, because I know you and I were having that conversation the other day, and
Yeah.
that was really interesting what you had to say about that. So I thought, I think everybody kind of needs to hear that. So
Hmm.
I'll let you take the reins on that one.
Yeah.
When, when,
It's really easy to
when,
burn out when you're
yeah,
doing
it
that.
is. And that's why we wanted to talk about it because angelic frequencies, the ones that we are communicating with on a regular basis, our team of angels are with us here on Earth predominantly, right? It's just easier for us to connect with them. And I've noticed that when I'm giving readings, for example, it's just a lot easier for me versus when I'm connecting in with a vastly different and energetic being that is from somewhere completely different with a completely different vibrational frequency than what I'm used to. And how does that affect your body, right?
Yeah, I noticed that when I channel the extraterrestrials or these galactic energies, my energy tends to burn out quicker, or
Wicker.
my energies gets a lot more ungrounded, or I don't know where I get checked out and I don't know where I am. And that's
Yeah.
what I've noticed when we did this course. That's one of
Yeah.
the reasons why I burnt out, is I was channeling all these different energies, and it kind of takes your consciousness, because everything's energy and we vibrate with a certain energy that we are channeling. So if we're vibrating at some kind of energy that's way out there, then that's going to take us. Our human vessel is not necessarily used to that all the time. Unless maybe it's our own starseed origins, we might feel more at home or it might be a little bit better. But if we're channeling a lot of different ones, it could be a lot crazier. And I know, notice with the angels, it's kind of easier to channel them because like
Wait.
they're hardwired to channel for to be here for humans, to assist humans. That's their purpose, and so that's why their energy is more conducive with our energy. But with these ETs, it's like taking your consciousness and going, oh, here you are, MRs, here you are, there, here you are, all, in all places at once. And we're not necessarily meant to do that, I guess you could say. But
We're kind of new to doing it. We're
yeah,
just kind of
exactly.
coming into this. We're just kind of starting to learn about, uh, a lot of these topics. So then you presented in the forefront with a lot of different energies that you haven't never really realized are here, and it can be really different and at times difficult,
Mm.
especially when, like in the course we were connecting in with different people's starseed origins, and their origins may be vastly different than yours and what your energy is used to, and now you're going to connect in with these energies. Holy Toledo. Hello, hello.
Yeah,
Welcome.
people want that the ETs to show up right in front of us and stuff. And it's
Yeah,
like at the end of the day, ooh,
a lot of
like
people
yeah,
want them to come
people
visit,
want these
and
energies to like come visit us. And I'm
yeah.
just like, really, at the end of the day, like if you can barely channel these energies, do you, you want that energy to show up right in front of you? I don't know about that. That might be a little intense for a lot of us, you
And
know.
it's different, when you're channeling, okay, one different energy, cool, we'll try it out. But when you're trying out 5, 10, 15 different energies, and your energy, your consciousness goes along for that ride along with theirs, that can be quite different for you. It can be quite ungrounding, to say the least. And of course, like if it's too much, if our energy starts to burn out, if we get really tired, what do we do? What do we do?
We go we go crazy. Just kidding.
I love it. But you recognize it, you go out into nature, you go ground your little butts, especially for those of us that are in starseed origins that are vastly different than Earth. We got to ground ourselves like nobody's business. You know, uh, I'll catch myself through the day and say, okay, I need to go out and ground my energy. But for somebody that's been a blue avian or multiple other avian species, okay? And then you come to Earth. It's like grounding your energy every day is imperative, imperative. And
Yeah.
then possibly finding up to 5 different ways to ground your energy, not just sitting your bum on the earth with your back on a tree, but
Yeah.
what are some of the ways that you really honed in on grounding?
Well, I've noticed that exercise has been very crucial for me, and it's kind of an everyday thing. So,
Mm.
so doing the yoga every single
That,
day, doing the stretching, just even laying down on the floor, doing a couple stretches, just getting used to being in your body, feeling in your body, and getting the tightness out of your body. Because
yeah,
I notice when this energy comes in, you kind of tighten up a little bit. So you need to like loosen up. A lot of these people that have a lot of light coming through their vessel or a lot of energy
yeah.
from different origins, they need to get that out so that they don't feel so awkward in their vessel
Mhm.
and things like that. And also the uh, the angels, the reason I like connecting with them a little bit more because with the ETs, they're at like so many different vibrational levels. They're
Mhm.
oh, at the ninth dimension, oh, at the sixth dimension,
Mhm.
and it's at these dimensions. And the angels are very high vibrational too, but they're used to being here, connecting with us in this third dimension. They're used to doing that.
Over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, and these other extraterrestrials, they're coming from a totally different perspective, totally different vessel, totally different mind, energy,
Totally different,
different planet.
totally different way of communicating.
Yes, exactly.
Many of them never move their mouths. They never chat with you the way that we chat with each other. It's completely different. Completely different. Some of them are more mental beings. Some of them are more curious and just watching and observing, and they don't have a whole lot to say. It's really quite different, isn't it?
Yeah, I wonder if it's frustrating for them to connect with us because connecting with some of these with other ETs, they're probably like, "Oh, okay, this is how you do
It's
it."
so
It's like
easy.
a process of light language or
It's
telepathy
just
or
like
something.
lightning speed communication. Sometimes I have to ask them to slow it down. I never really pick up on frustration per se. Some things I do pick up on are um, just checking in with me to see how long I can handle their frequency around me for. It's been 5 minutes doing an update check with you here, and I say I don't have much longer in me because I'm getting quite tired and lightheaded and ungrounded. And so they're like, okay, so they know, okay, we've got a couple more minutes with Kristen, and then we've got to mosey on away from her energy or frequency. Anything that is falling out of your life, right? People, experiences, jobs, foods are no longer a vibrational match for your frequency. So as we raise in vibrational frequency, is you're going to have different things that are of interest to you, including your diet, the types of exercise that you're doing, the type of people you have in your life, right? It's all vastly going to change. A lot of it will change quite gradually over time.
Yeah, as I raise in frequency, I can no longer eat any tasty food. I can't work out the way I want to anymore. Gosh, this
Can't
ascension is
sleep
just
as much
awful.
as I want to. Yeah, it's vastly different, isn't it? So when we can tap into the angelic frequencies, it's just an easier frequency to connect with and to channel. I don't get as ungrounded. I can go for longer periods of time communicating with them without feeling as lightheaded or as ungrounded. So just heads up for people that want to connect in with ET origins, okay? Different ET energies. And when we look at, oh, well, how many different ET energies can I connect with? Well, it's unlimited. It really is unlimited. It is
Yeah, and
real.
I've heard people saying this recently about, oh, just focus on being grounded is not like real spirituality or something. I don't really resonate with that. There's always a balance between everything, because it's great to connect with these energies up and out and beyond, to connect with this source and go outside of your body and become expand your consciousness. but also there's a balance to it. We need to be here and ground our energy at the same time and bring that energy through our body, so we're not just completely out of it all the time. Like we're here in this body for a reason, for an experience here on earth. We're not meant to just be out of our body all the time. So we're meant to learn certain things, certain ways of grounding. So, and I know a lot of people are saying, oh, maybe, oh, shamanism, they don't actually focus, or some types of spirituality, they only focus on being here on earth, and they don't believe in connecting outside of yourself. I don't believe in that. I believe we can do both. We can do both at the same time. So that's one thing that I'm gonna say.
And this person's form of spirituality versus that, there is no wrong way of doing it. It really does just come down to what is a vibrational match to you in this current moment. What is important to you? What feels right? What feels good? And what doesn't?
Yeah.
But most of us are so ungrounded, and our minds are racing to such a capacity that we can't slow down to create enough stillness to ground our energy and to tune in to what resonates and what doesn't. So that's really important to start practicing that. When you're uncertain about something, ground your energy, create that stillness within, and then feel in your body where your team, your higher self, your soul is guiding you to go, in what direction feels best, right? And then you, over time, you start searching more within for the answers rather than outside of yourself for the answers, right?
Yeah, I've definitely done things both ways. I've definitely done things being very ungrounded, doing the things, being outside of my body, going like way outside my body all the time. And I've done things a more grounded way. And different things that work for different people. Some people can handle that. Some people are more grounded people, more grounded star seeds. But I need the more grounded experience to be able to be here on Earth and be able to function in this human body in a wonderful way. But also, yeah, like you were saying, everything's like constantly evolving, constantly expanding. That's one reason I don't necessarily like, religious backgrounds or religious teachings and things. You can take the good from everything, but everything's constantly evolving. So if we're stuck in the Middle Ages learning the same thing over and over again, I don't necessarily believe in that. Like, early on in my spiritual awakening, I did different things, and now I'm doing different things now. That's why I like spirituality.
Always evolving.
Yeah, it's always that's one thing I like about it.
Some people are comfortable in their comfort zone. They don't want to shift out of that, though, right? So they're okay with where they're at, and then they'll create more of the same.
Yeah, that's part of their journey too, to be there in that moment and during that lifetime.
Why do you think some star seeds here on Earth are pulling in more light frequency through their vessel? Because you and I have had this conversation, and the light frequency that's constantly pulling through your vessel is a lot versus myself. And I know that there are labels for individuals that have, forms of maybe hyperactivity, or just a busyness to them, such as ADHD and ADD, whatever labels. But I look at, well, there's just more light frequency pulling through these individuals. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think there's a couple of reasons, but there's one reason that I like to talk about, which is about, there has to be a contrast here on Earth. Like there has to be a way to raise the frequency here on Earth, and that's why all these people are incarnating with this super high vibrational frequency, having a lot of light through their vessel. So it's a huge contrast to where the old society was.
Right.
So when they come into these old systems like school and society, with these kids that come in with more light, whether it's autism, whether it's ADHD, they have different things they're dealing with because they're experiencing a lot more light coming through their vessel. And they're meant to, like, it's supposed to be a contrast, not supposed to fit in this system that we've built today.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
That's why it's kind of shattering the old system, which is kind of cool.
Having a lot of more light frequency gives you a lot more energy. That's why a lot of us, we're much more mentally alert. Our diets are changing. We don't need as much sleep, or we can't get as much sleep as we once did. It's vastly different. And you made a great point there, in that some of these individuals that just have so much energy, they're just pooling a lot more light frequency in through them, which is constantly what the angels tell me, which is individuals that are incarnating here on earth are bringing in more light frequency here to light up the planet.
It's like a new species that we're creating, kind of, for the new Earth. Yeah.
It's going to be really fascinating to see what happens over the next 20, 30, 40 years. It's going to be really fascinating.
Yeah, when you see these like rainbow children coming in, these rainbow children, get ready, everyone, because they're able to access like more of their divine DNA, more of their consciousness, and it's just awesome.
Well, they're accessing information at a lightning speed. I've seen, I've been in an elevator with one showing me his little dinosaur, and I remember me and the lady, because I was going up to this lady's home with her when I used to clean homes, and this little boy, and we were like, "Whoa!" We were both like, "Holy cow!" Like, this kid is like 3 years old and talking to us as if he's like 6 or 7, maybe 10, totally describing his dinosaur in full detail and knew the whole long name of the dinosaur and what it could do. And we were like, oh my God. Like when I was 3, there was no way I was doing that kind of stuff. It's like, oh my God, that's so awesome. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. It's just that some of us had our light bulbs turned up real high. So when me and Paul have had this conversation before in the past, because like my light bulb isn't, I guess I'm not saying I'm not bright, but I don't have as much energy pooling through my vessel as much as he does, for example. But that's just, again, the differences of beings in one generation, right? Holy cow.
Or some people
like
don't need as much coming through the vessel to achieve their purpose here on Earth. They don't need. I need that. That's why I have so much coming through my vessel for me to not achieve, but to fulfill what I'm supposed to do here on Earth. I need that extra energy, I think.
I'm going to check in with my guardian angel and see if she wants to add anything to this topic before we move on to channeling source here, okay? Some souls agreed to bringing in more light frequency through their vessels on a steady, regular basis. Also, their energy and their vessel their vessel was chosen and is capable of bringing forth more light frequency through this vessel. Whereas they always tease me that I'm a butterfly. I'm a little bit more delicate. I'm a little more delicate, and that wasn't the purpose for me to bring forward more light frequency. The light frequency that I am bringing forth through my vessel is very bright, or very, how do you want to say that? It has a lot of light in it from I've brought forth more light. So the light that I am bringing forth, she's saying, has a little bit more punch.
Yeah.
And so it makes it easier for me to stay more chipper or more high vibrational or laugh more or to the point where it annoys other people. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. It's cool because like you were saying, everyone brings a certain amount of light or a certain amount or a certain percentage of their higher self here, and everyone's higher self is going to be different.
Yeah.
And everyone's soul is going to experience Earth differently here on Earth, and maybe your higher self from the Pleiades or Palladian, well, it packs a punch. It doesn't need all of it only needs a certain amount.
We need more here.
Yeah. Maybe and with certain people's higher selves are more expansive than others or more evolved, however you want to call it, and so that they may only need a certain amount compared to other people. It's kind of cool.
My guardian angel is telling me that everyone here who's observing and watching our incarnations, which are many, are proud of us for stepping forward into this frequency, because for many it is not easy. But the ones who thrive here are the ones that choose to let go of lower vibrational thought forms, energies, relationships. Okay. So it's about just letting go of anything that's going to hold you down, really, and to coast above. Like, you know how an eagle just coasts above in the sky? But that takes time, and each person is different, and they recognize that some things need to take place in order to see the light. She's using Amber Heard and Johnny Depp as an example. Here we go. Yes. So I've been watching a little. I never watch stuff in the news, and it's kind of irritating me that I find it fascinating to watch it. What the heck? Why am I watching this?
I think it's funny that so many people are like making memes about that and all
Yeah.
that stuff. It's so funny.
And so what she's saying is a lot is going to come up to the surface, okay, and a lot will be unveiled, and a lot of what you think is isn't, and vice versa, which will create some turbulence unless you have solid footing beneath you. Okay, so it's really important that we have solid footing, and part of having solid footing is not allowing yourselves to go off and dive off in directions that are not in alignment with your highest and best good and are not serving you.
Yeah,
So she's bringing me
that's
back
so true.
to Bonnie and Amber again. So here we go. It's not a case of boo-hoo, poor Johnny. Okay, Johnny is clearing the path and bringing about more consciousness and becoming more aware and conscious of his behaviors, and recognizing that there are repercussions for certain behaviors, and that he's not untouchable. Okay. And it's also teaching him to go within and follow his gut instinct and his intuition, and listen to that when he's getting red flags or a tightness in his chest or his stomach, in which he had many times. It's also a part of self-love on this path for him. Self-love, loving himself, and not allowing others to mistreat him in any way. So it's not just about a cut and dry black and white case. There's a lot learned here on both sides. Now, on Amber's side, here we go. She's playing her part. She's playing her role to create contrast here on Earth, and she will continue to do so moving forward in the future. Not much is going to change there.
She's damn good at it. Creating that good contrast for people, I guess.
And even though all of this has been unveiled for the masses to see with clarity, Amber will continue to play her part. Not much is going to change, and there will be others that will fall for it. And what she's shown me before and what she's showing me now is that there will be other men that she will date in the future who she will bamboozle. But that's a part of her life's purpose, to come here and do that. That's what she signed up for. Okay. It's just that some can get in the way of this path and get just railroaded, basically. But they're learning and growing through that railroading. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. So it's not just what we think, it's much more of a broader perspective on that. Okay.
No, I'm gonna get angry and entrenched in this. I'm going to watch this every single day, all day long. Put the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp. I bet so many people are gonna like love hearing that channeling. Like, oh my God, a spiritual perspective on the Amber Heard thing. We're seeing this from every angle now.
And I wasn't the one who wanted to talk about it. It's this one here. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
So don't be putting it on me.
But one of the things that I've learned in my life is that we don't have to be so. I was gonna say is that being here, we don't have to take things so serious. This is one thing. One of the things I did earlier on
Yeah.
in my awakening and early on in my life is that being entrenched in like sort of
Taking
like a
it
pity
serious.
party, a little bit like, oh, why me, this, that, or even like,
Mhm.
oh, being serious, like, oh, what's gonna happen in the future? What's gonna be my career path? What's gonna be this? What's gonna be that? But almost when you awaken, it's like, and seeing that from a more higher vibrational perspective is that you can detach from these things. You can let go of these things, these belief systems, and like you said, you can fly above and watch from a higher vibrational perspective. You can watch your life. You don't have to be so like
Interesting.
entrenched and so in your belief systems here
Or,
on earth. You can just coast along and
um,
be almost like zen,
yeah.
uh, like have that attitude about life and be in your body in that way.
Mm.
And it's more a blissful experience, I'm telling you, and it feels
Way
better.
better.
Of course, there's a balance. You don't want to be too detached. You'd be like, but yeah,
I love that, Kira. Kira's saying, I hope this trial will help people find themselves in these types of relationships to heal and move on and grow. Yeah,
yeah.
totally agree. So I'm going to read the channeled message that I channeled earlier from Source Frequency. You can call Source whatever you want. You want to call Source God or Light and Love or Universal Oneness or anything you want. It's it's up to you. I've always been drawn to the word source, so that's why I use it.
Some people say divine creator or divine
Mhm.
father or
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
universal father, different terms.
So the message here coming is the tides are turning, helping humanity move back into the light and more so. Come together, gather together. All of this upheaval culminating on earth at this time. So all of this upheaval that's taking place is going to bring us together and gather together, come together. You have to. There's only one way it's going to go. It's that, or you're off on your own for a time, and that kind of sucks for a time. At some point, you're going to have to ask others for help, or turn to others, or talk to others, or even if it's online or in person or wherever it is. Okay, on earth at this time will help, in fact, bring us together here on earth. There we go. Know your worth and how strong you truly are, dear ones, in regards to this big event coming. The big event is a large number of souls ascending further than what they expected on earth in this big event of ascension. So it all depends, right? Are we ready for this massive wave of ascension of individuals ready? All of us are going to be ascending just being here. You're going to anchor the light. The light's permeating the planet. But some of us are going to go further. And so the exciting part on spirit's side is that there's a large number of us going. It's like a bigger amount. But if we were to look at the percentage wise as to the entire planet, okay, of everyone here, and what I'm receiving is it doesn't matter the percentage wise. What matters is that it is a large enough souls going where it allows more light to permeate the planet, which is a nice base. And it allows enough light, which is enough of a base to allow even more high vibrational light to anchor here and also incarnate here if we want to see incarnation as being what is happening, right? It's all a seeming reality. But as we move up in frequency, more high vibrational frequency will anchor here, right? Because we're lifting in frequency, so more light will come. And then, of course, more souls will incarnate on the planet that are more light and love filled, more high vibrational. That haven't, the other thing I'm getting is they haven't had a whole lot of incarnations here on Earth, and some none at all. Okay.
Hmm.
So they're just bringing that light frequency here through them. Okay, well that's pretty awesome. Do you
Yeah.
want to channel source
Yeah,
on
I
me?
think there is a message that wants to
Okay,
come through. I
right?
was kind of receiving a few things here and there, even
Mhm.
during it. It felt like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was really beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll let you go ahead and take the reins.
A few of the things that Source was saying was, um, if we weren't ready, this wouldn't happen. But we are ready for this. Many people on the other, many souls on the other side, many souls that are here are waiting for this.
Mm-hmm.
Even the people that aren't going to be ready for it consciously,
Mm-hmm.
subconsciously, or their higher selves know that they are ready for this. That even though it may be a bumpy ride, that is all for the highest good.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just no doubt. There's no doubt there that this is going to happen, and that this entire thing is just unfolding really well. This divine plan,
Mm-hmm.
this agreement, these agreements that have been made by everyone here that is on Earth right now. I'm also sensing that there's a lot of agreements that people are going to be leaving Earth after this lifetime that they have here. A lot of people. He's also quite chuckling about being the spiritual people that want to leave, that want to leave. But was saying that a lot of you are actually going to stay because we need you for the ascension, for the new Earth, for the next new Earth. The people that are leaving are the ones that no longer are congruent, or I don't know, same with the Earth's frequency now. The energy is like rising. And I just get the sense of that something's coming. That's what I'm getting. That something's coming. An event, a bigger event is coming. Hmm.
I get bursts of light, solar, we get solar light codes coming. Okay, so we get these bursts or these ascension waves, and then we get a respite, and then we get more, and then we get a respite. It's an ebb and flow. But at some point, a tipping of the scale is going to happen where it's not these bursts anymore. Okay, that go on for like 5 to 7 days right now. In the beginning, for me, 5, 6 years ago, these ascension waves would last 1 to 2 days. Now they're about, I would say, averaging 7 days, but in the near future, it will be more just consistent. And for those who aren't ready for this new up step up in consistent light frequency here on the planet, it may cause irritation within. So your frequencies here, and all of a sudden the whole planet is being permeated with this frequency. So it might not jive with you too good. But you can always remember to ground your energy, get enough rest, take good care of yourselves, focus inwards, self love, self care. And what you resist persists. That's the other thing. So, what you're complaining about, what you're focusing on, what you're talking about, you're going to create more of that, which is going to create more of a kickback. Because with this new frequency coming in, you're going to manifest much quicker. So, whatever you're complaining about, you're going to feel a kickback from that, and it's not going to feel so good. And also, you're going to create more thoughts, more belief systems, and more experiences of the similar or same like vibrational frequency. So, remember that. What you resist persists. It's going to be a much easier time for those of you that are more aware of what you're focusing and placing your attention upon, and then pivoting or shifting in a different direction, and also letting go and going with the flow. So just let,
Yeah.
okay, don't hang on and try to make things work that have never worked, or clearly you're getting a gut feeling that shouldn't work. You might need to just pivot. Some of the old paradigm and thought forms feel more comfortable, uh, like almost clinching in on our belief systems or what we want or think or feel are real to us, but they may just not work anymore. So it might be even bumpier there for these individuals that choose that path.
Yeah, this new energy is meant to completely like shatter all these belief systems and creating new ones, basically newer programming.
So the next thing that I keep hearing is religion being used as an example here. You know, take the good pieces that make you feel good from that, but you will be in many ways forced to pivot from this old paradigm of belief or thought forms, and in a lot of ways created by others uh, to control the masses with these types of written words, belief systems placed within this reading material. Um, Anything that is created by way of mankind operates through, uh, and this is like mankind we're talking about way long ago that has created and shifted and changed this reading material. And
Ego.
source steps back from that. This is coming through these individuals' mindsets, egos, controlling the masses. There is light in this reading material, but Source would much rather us go within for the answers than seeking it outside of ourselves. And many of us are seeing that in this day of age where individuals are not completely turning their back on religion, but seeking another way because their intuition, their gut feeling is sharing with them that there is another way.
Yeah. I think atheism, one of the main responses from that was because they responded to religion. They're like, I don't resonate with
Let's go
that.
the opposite direction.
Yeah, many of my friends realized that they don't resonate with this religion. So
Mhm.
they don't resonate with a lot of these religions and things. So they're listening to themselves. They know that they don't resonate with this. And that's why I think sometimes atheism can be a first step into spirituality, or even
Yeah, that's
that's
very
why I think it's more high vibrational than a lot of these religions, because you're listening to your own power, to who you are, and going forth in your own life, and
Mhm.
you don't need some other priest or someone to tell you what to do or how to do things or how to connect to something. You are the one that can connect by yourself, and you are probably already have that new programming. You've already born with that, so that's probably why you don't resonate with these old programming and old belief systems here on Earth.
But as I'm being shared with here, is that some of us need that community. They need that. I'm being shown like a crutch under the armpit
Yeah,
in order to carry them through life, and something to focus on, something to believe in.
yeah,
And Source says that's all right as well if that's where you're at. Just know that there's far more than just that. That's the other message I'm receiving. Okay. So Sally's wondering here if she should leave her job. Sometimes, even when we're having a hard time with our coworkers, angels will say, "No, you got to stick it out." And the contrast is they're teaching you something. So, should she leave or stay? I'm getting go. Mm-hmm. And you know, that's not typically what I'm hearing recently because of these changing events taking place on Earth. They want us to kind of stick it out or hunker down in essence. But I get a feeling like you are also supported by others in your life, Sally. So, and you're right that this won't change. You can buck the currents if you want and do more verbally standing up for yourself. But that would create a bumpier path because these individuals won't change. There's no.
Yeah, I feel like it's already bumpy. That's what probably why that's what I feel is that it's already feeling like not good, whatever she's feeling right now. So
This person you have to deal with is no shrinking violet, is what I'm getting. But again, just like Amber Heard, these people are here to teach us something so we can buck the current with them and play that little dance. And that little dance is never going to change because that's what they're here for on Earth. But we change and we change in how we respond, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not sure quite what you're asking here, Lewis. Do you want to ask in a different way? So one thing you're asking, Lewis, is during meditation, you're wondering if there's a cleaning happening or a clearing. Do you want to channel that one?
sure. I do feel it's has something to do with like a purging kind of or a
Different starseed origins with Lewis too, hey?
yeah, I feel like it's like new energy coming in as well. It's not, and it's just kind of like dissolving a lot of the old stuff that was there. Or I don't even feel like you have that much older stuff. I feel like it's just absorbing new stuff
A little
a lot.
cleanup, just a little cleanup
Yeah,
on aisle 5.
that's kind of cool.
And your starseed origins are quite different than Earth. You can feel that. So if you feel it difficult to communicate or fit in here, that's okay. Mm-hmm. Don't get too ungrounded and wrapped up in rabbit holes, okay, Lewis? All right. Okay. Amy's wondering a question here. She's struggling with her third eye being wide open. Okay. So, do we need to have an open third eye in order to communicate with spirit? I'm just going to ask you. Do we?
I don't think so.
No, me either.
We can communicate with them, with spirit in all kinds of ways.
Oh, yeah.
And like through our emotions, through many different types of ways. And I noticed that when my third eye was completely opened, it wasn't a fun time for me. It was a bit crazy because when it all opens up at once, you kind of you just don't know where to go from there. It's like there's too many things coming at you at once. You're too sensitive, too open. So sometimes it's not the best for it to open up at once. Maybe like gradually over time is what I've heard. That's the best for me. You know.
Mm-hmm. When you start to awaken, you might notice the light is a bit brighter. You might feel like you always want to put your sunglasses on more or close the shades. Sound might be a little bit more clear or loud. Okay, so these are some of the key indicators.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a reason that my third eye is not completely open right now
yeah,
because my team knows that they need to wait for me to become older or later on in my life when I'm more grounded and I
yeah,
can handle that more and
yeah.
I can handle from that space.
And my third eye did not open until literally like 2 years ago. I mean, I'm sure it was open to a point. I remember uh, Archangel Michael working on the light frequency from my third eye back to the back of my head, right through the center of my brain. So just opening that up with light. Okay, it was like the width of a dental floss. Okay, and now I would say it's maybe a little bit thinner than this, but it's still okay. So that just makes it easier for them to pull the light in and then form thought forms or show me something. But it wasn't until about 2.5 years ago that that kind of came online. And even now, it's very gentle. It's nothing too major. I'm not, freaking out, because that's not what they want for us to be doing. There would be no point in that. hmm You got to ground your energy big time. Sit yourself out under a tree with your back on the tree several times a day if need be. hmm And the other thing you can do is listen. This needs to. You got to ask. So you need to ask your team for what you need and what you want. You can also ask the earth to pull the energy down through your body and out your root chakra on a regular basis every day. So you just ask her once. Can you just be pulling this energy through me to help ground me and to clear my energy? Do it all the time. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you might not want to do like very long meditations or things like that, because when I used to do that, I was getting way out there and my energy wasn't grounded. So it just wasn't good for me. And
Yeah. So if you're already ungrounded, steer clear from things that are going to unground you further. If you're chugging down a lot of caffeine and a lot of sugar, probably not a good idea. Just putting it out there. Maybe not touching alcohol, for example, probably not going to be a good idea as you awaken. So the ear ringing and headaches, is that upgrades for Chrissy, or what is that?
I was asking them if it was like ungroundedness or something like that, but I don't necessarily think that is. I think it's what I'm getting from them is that it's more like downloads
Yep.
and
I'm getting communication.
yeah.
Yep. 100%. You're getting downloaded information that is here to assist you on the next steps to come.
Yeah, that's what I felt. Like I love these when these downloads come in. It takes us a while for them to manifest here in this physical energy, in this physical
tomorrow
vessel,
morning, although it could.
in this reality. It's kind of cool.
But this is just information or downloaded information coming in through the light that is now ready to go and ready to signal to you the next steps to take. So everybody who's like, oh, I want to know now, I want to know. You'll know when you're good and ready to know, and the light will come in, and then it will guide you when it's time. And I know a lot of us don't want to hear that, but it's divine timing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of these things that click in our brain or open up, or when our channels open up more, or things like that, they were already they were already downloaded quite long before, but it takes time for it to manifest, or it comes in divine timing. So at a certain time or a certain moment, when we're ready for that to happen, then it'll click or happen
it's
more.
when it's meant to happen.
Yeah.
So if any of us have like headaches that are ongoing, lightheadedness, feeling ungrounded, heart palps, right? But even if you say you have headaches or ear ringing, you can sit in stillness, ask the question, is this ascension related? Is this energy related? And then you will get a yes or no response in the body. The mind must be quiet, okay? So, Lance, what's the answer? Type it in the comments. Yes or no? Wowzers, Shannon. Shingles twice in the past 5 weeks. Is there a sign that I am missing? What I'm getting is the first time wasn't entirely cleared out of your system, and then it flared again a second time. So it's really the first time kind of lingering and then flaring again. So it's not, they're not seeing it as two separate times. Okay. Okay.
I feel like it's gonna pass.
Yeah, me too.
It's not gonna be there.
Yeah. I don't get any big any message to go with this. It's just you recovering from this, and you will. Okay. Okay, so what's the answer with Lance? The answer is I see a thumbs up and a big smile and the word yes. So you're bang on, Lance. The answer is yes. Isn't that great? Isn't that great when you can go within and get the answer? It's
Yeah, I
pretty,
love that.
isn't it? Pretty darn awesome. So, you guys, if you want to learn more how to channel your team that's always with you and to go within and feel the answers and so much more, because they're not just communicating through our bodies, they're communicating in many other ways. You guys know that the Mediumship for Beginners course is coming up June 15th until the 29th for 2 weeks. If you can't make it to the lives or you can't make it for the pre recorded sessions, that's okay because you can catch up anytime you want. And the course group is left open for an extra week. And then, of course, you'll have the content emailed to you afterwards. So you can work on it anytime you want. Okay? So don't feel like you have to be there for those specific lives because you don't.
Yeah. You don't. You can
Yeah.
always do it a little bit later or afterwards, but you'll be able to connect. And if you apply yourself in the course, you'll be able to watch most of the content during the course. So
You were starting to channel well before you took the Mediumship for Beginners courses in the past, weren't you? But you were wide open, then it kind of closed down, and then you came into the courses and it slowly started to open again.
yeah, that's one of the great things that I like working with you is that you know these things. You know that there's guardian angels here. You know what their purpose is. You know what they've taught you, and they are helping you teach this course. And you know these things. And when I first went, like,
Yeah,
I didn't know all these things at first. I was like,
you're
so
like,
what's the
whoa.
spirit guide? Like, this might, oh, it might be this. Is that might be my spirit guide, or like what is the purpose of them being here? But you make it really clear for everyone, very balanced for everyone, so they come at
No
it from a
answers.
space like that, which is
You
pretty
can be
cool.
very ungrounded and lost and unsure, certain and unsure, and then you come into this 2 week long course and those kinds of questions that you really need to get to the bottom of, the answers come through. And then I'm constantly channeling the answers for everyone over 2 weeks, let alone through the other medium teachers, including yourself.
Mm.
So, it's about finding the answers, having a better connection, meeting like minded souls, enjoying the journey, enjoying the ride. It's an overhaul. And there are people that say, like, their family members are like, "What's up with you? Something's strange." Yeah, I took a course. I'm like, sweet. So when other people notice, that makes me really happy. It means a major impact is happening. Plus, what the angels show me is like everybody gets worked on energetically when they're taking this course.
Yeah,
You get it full throttle, even weeks out. For you, it was after the course you started
yeah,
noticing, which is really interesting. I have some people tell me it's even before the course starts. They've signed up for it, but there's still a few weeks and they're getting worked on leading into the course.
yeah. One thing I noticed within myself and being around my friends and things like and other people was that I was more balanced in myself. My energy was more balanced. Uh, the angels
Me
helped
too.
keep me more grounded. I was more open and more sensitive, but coming more space from balance. And
Mhm.
before that, I was kind of like, oh, I'm spiritual, yeah, like, so my friends like whatever and stuff.
Over the
But
place,
when I came into my own and I became more balanced, they're like, whoa, we're
right?
dealing with a different person here.
Yep, indeed you were. They were. It's interesting because there will be people that will watch my content and I'll be channeling Jesus, and Jesus comes in the room for a visit, starts to remove energy that needs to be cleaned off the person. The person is like really face to face with Jesus' energy and makes them cry. People, there's a lot of shifts that take place just watching these recordings or live or record, doesn't matter, because nobody cares if this is live or not. They show up irregardless for you, and it is full on. What I'm noticing right now is I'm being opened right here, right back. I talked about it and I'm telling you guys about it, and now I'm getting just really, but it feels really good actually. It feels really good. So, all right, any last messages? Source is, I think, trying to be a little cheeky and saying, you know, when you bake a cake in the oven and then you take the cake out, but it falls flat. So you're like, oh, that work for that cake. And the cake became deflated. When things don't work out the way that you want them to, go within. And try your best not to ride the pity party for too long, the boo-hoo poor me, the victim mentality, because that's not going to serve you moving forward. And if you want the best outcome for yourself, you will go within, create that stillness, decompress, move yourself back into alignment bit by bit, create inner peace. And then when you come from this vantage point forward, the world is your oyster. Love that. Okay? We got cakes and we got oysters. Thanks. I love it.
Cakes and oysters.
All right. Thank you for joining me, Paul.
I feel like he has a message for me too.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But no, it's fine.
Let's keep the party going.
But it's funny that you were saying that about, you know, the victim mentality and then coming at it from a different vantage point. You don't have to see it like that. And the energy that I was getting from Source was confidence that we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And
yes,
like there's no doubt in Source mind. And the thing that I was hearing him say earlier, and this is what I've heard the Archangel Metatron say to me before, is that, you know, spiritual people, we have an advantage. We know that there's going to be things that are happening in the future. There's going to be a big event or things like that. So in knowing that, come at that with confidence that you know yourself.
You know way more than most do.
Yeah, it's not going to hit you out of the blue, you know. And that's one of the reasons I heard him saying was that a lot of spiritual people are in their own little bubble. They feel isolated, but there's a reason for that. So that they don't have to be so connected to everyone else around them or the world around them, because there's going to be some wild things that are going to go on, and being in your own bubble is an advantage, and being in your own energy and stuff like that.
Others similar to yourself online or in person would be really good, as long as we keep it light filled, right? Yeah, I totally agree with you. 100%. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, everyone. Until next time, we'll see you.
Next time. Bye.